I tried to write the introduction for this speech so many times, but every time I wrote it, I felt like something was wrong. And what was wrong, at the end, I realized that I was just writing something to impress my audience, to show off, or to tell them what I wanted to hear more than what I wanted to tell them. So I started to switch writing from my academic side to writing with my heart. And that's how I decided to lock myself in my room and scream aloud everything I felt had to change about this world. And that became my whole speech, not just my introduction. But I'm not here to give you another speech about the negative sides of the world. I'm here because I feel responsible. I feel responsible for poverty, for hunger, for inequalities, for being passive about most of global issues around the world. I feel responsible because when I finish school at 4 o'clock, I go in my house, a cozy home. I have my own bed, I have food in the table waiting for me, while just in front of me there is a continent, Africa, where school collapse, whose child mortality in sub-Saharan Africa accounts for 38% of global neonatal death. And I understand that perhaps I shouldn't feel responsible because it's not the life I chose, but I am because I didn't earn it. And in 18 years of my life, I just haven't done enough to pay that back to my parents, or most importantly, to the world. And I am filled with a sense of guilt because as a member of the new generation, I'm just not doing enough to try to make a change in this world, even though I have all the tools in my hand. We occupy as a society in this room an important place in the social hierarchy, and yet we're not doing enough to change these people's situation. And for this, I blame the way we embraced the use of social media in the 21st century. Society has allowed social media to walk right over democracy, allowing some people to hold economical, political, and social power above everybody else. And I mean, I'm the first one to admit that I use social media. I love the way it allows some artists to craft their own image, the way some people can truly express who they are, and the way it unites people. But something went wrong. We just got lost. We became so immersed into this consumerist society in which we lost sight of what really matters. We don't understand anymore that there is another side. The side needs us. There is another side in which people suffer. There is another side in which people can afford going to school, can afford to pay the medical bill and die. There is another side rather than this. We're getting controlled by such an extremely little amount of people who allow us to see what they want us to see. We're risking of being brainwashed by elites who manipulate us to expand their sphere of influence and markets. Guy A says that climate change is fake. Guy B says that immigrants are the cause of all our issue. And Guy C says that this country has opportunities, equal opportunities for everyone. And it's just not true. Global change is happening. Immigrants are a blessing. And many other countries still don't have equal opportunities for everyone. And we, as a society, as the new generation, as the new leaders, are just not doing enough to address issues of global significance. See this picture here. This picture was in Africa, of course. As I said before, this country has so many problems. This continent has so many problems. And we're just not doing enough to tackle this issue. 95 million posts every day are posted on Instagram. And you really tell me that we don't have the time to share perhaps this picture, to make our followers aware that these things are happening? Because even if we tell ourselves that we do talk about these things, if we really wanted, we can truly make a change. Because imagine if the 52 million people that liked an egg on Instagram, and including myself, I blame myself for that. I dislike the egg now. Imagine if those 52 million people would have shared the news about a social story instead of liking an egg. We have such a massive reach through social media, and we posting an egg? Really? Why? Where did we get lost? Where did we go wrong? People the elites especially, they want us to see what they want us to see. So I ask myself, why are we becoming aware only now of what's going on in Venezuela? Or the atrocity occurring in North Korea and Egypt? And where are the assemblies? Where are the communities to talk about these things? Why are we not posting every day on our social media, on Instagram? Why are we not posting about these things? Why are we not making an impact? What's wrong? And there is so much more. There is the Facebook Liceo Celsius. There is that other 49 countries around the globe have an authoritarian regime, which means that something like this could have not happened. There is that Pakistan and India killing each other. So I'm not here to tell you what to do. That's not my role. I'm just here to give you an advice on how to maximize for good the use of your social media, because social media is going to stay here, whether we like it or not. It's not going to go away. So we better embrace its use. We better embrace diversity and stop comparing each other. So that what happened in New Zealand last week, what happened again? Because what happened in New Zealand goes against every single one of our principles. We are a community. We are an international community. That means that we share different religious beliefs, different ethnicities. And what happened there was a crime of hate. What happened there goes against everything we believe in. And yet, what have we done? Have we done an assembly? Have we talked about it? Have we raised the issue on Instagram, on social media, on Facebook, on Snapchat? So I have a solution. And the solution is called Share the News. Share the News, more than being a charity or an NGO or a company, it's a movement which we can all be part of. Share the News means taking a screenshot of a news story which you think should be spread around to make people aware of something, to make people aware that so many are suffering. Put it on your social media account. And don't think that it would be stupid because I'm the only one that does it and my followers are not going to care. Because your followers will see the picture. Your followers will have acknowledged the fact that something has happened, then it's up to them on whether to follow up with it or not. But I'm sure that deeply inside, each and every one of us, of you, can make a change, can change the world. Because who are we to ignore all these people? It's our responsibility. Take action now. Thank you.